What if I told you that one of the most powerful transformations you can make to your health costs you nothing, requires no gym membership, no special equipment, and can be started today, right now, just by stepping outside your front door? 10,000 steps a day. You've heard the number. Maybe you've even tried it. But most people have absolutely no idea what is actually happening inside their body when they commit to this one daily habit consistently. And more importantly, most people don't know the specific things that go wrong when they stop. Stay with me for the next few minutes, because what you're about to learn may completely change how you think about movement and your long-term survival. Let's start with day one. The moment you begin walking, your body undergoes an immediate physiological shift. Your heart rate climbs, blood flow accelerates, your muscles begin pulling glucose from the bloodstream for fuel. Within just 3 to 5 minutes of sustained walking, your body starts releasing nitric oxide, a molecule that causes your blood vessels to dilate and your blood pressure to drop. This is not a small effect. This is your cardiovascular system being told, in no uncertain terms, that it is alive and it needs to perform. But here's what most people never think about. The human body was designed to walk, not to sit, not to lie down for 16 hours and then sprint occasionally. Walk. Our ancestors covered an average of 8 to 15 miles per day on foot. 10,000 steps, roughly 5 miles, is not some arbitrary wellness trend invented by a fitness app. It is a return to biological baseline. Now, let's talk about what happens at the 1-week mark. After 7 consecutive days of hitting 10,000 steps, something measurable begins to change. Studies from the American Heart Association have shown that consistent daily walking reduces systolic blood pressure in hypertensive adults within just 1 to 2 weeks. Your resting heart rate begins to lower, your lung capacity improves slightly, and perhaps most importantly for long-term health outcomes, your insulin sensitivity starts to increase. Insulin sensitivity. If you are not paying attention to this number, you should be. It determines how efficiently your body processes sugar. When your cells become resistant to insulin, which happens directly as a consequence of prolonged physical inactivity, your pancreas is forced to pump out more and more insulin just to manage your blood sugar. Over time, this leads to weight gain, inflammation, fatigue, and eventually, type 2 diabetes. 10,000 steps a day is one of the most effective non-pharmaceutical interventions for reversing this trajectory. Let's pause here because something important needs to be said about what walking actually is. Walking is not passive. When you are walking, you're activating more than 200 muscles throughout your body simultaneously. Your core engages to stabilize your spine. Your glutes fire with every stride. Your hip flexors, hamstrings, and calves cycle through a continuous pattern of contraction and release. Your arms swing, engaging your shoulders and upper back. Your feet, which contain 26 bones, 33 joints, and over 100 tendons, muscles, and ligaments, are performing a mechanical miracle with every single step. This is full body exercise. It is simply disguised as something ordinary. Now let's talk about the brain. At the 30-day mark of consistent daily walking, neuroscientists have documented measurable changes in brain structure. A landmark study out of the University of British Columbia found that regular aerobic exercise, including walking, increases the size of the hippocampus, the region of your brain responsible for memory and learning. The hippocampus is also one of the first structures to atrophy in the early stages of Alzheimer's disease. Walk every day. Protect your memory. This is not speculation. This is peer-reviewed science. But the brain benefits do not stop there. Every time you walk, your brain releases a cascade of neurochemicals. Serotonin, your mood stabilizer. Dopamine, your reward signal. Norepinephrine, your alertness chemical. Endorphins, your natural pain relievers. Brain-derived neurotrophic factor, or BDNF, sometimes called miracle grow for the brain, which promotes the growth of new neurons and neural connections. This is why people who walk daily consistently report better sleep, lower anxiety, reduced depression symptoms, and sharper mental clarity. Your brain is a physical organ. It responds to physical activity. Let's go deeper. At the 3-month mark, if you have maintained your 10,000 steps per day consistently, the changes inside your body are substantial. Your cardiovascular efficiency has improved. Your heart pumps more blood per beat, meaning it has to work less hard to do the same job. Your VO2 max, your body's ability to use oxygen during exercise, has increased. Your LDL cholesterol levels have likely dropped. Your triglycerides have come down. And your weight? If you are eating at maintenance or in a modest calorie deficit, consistent daily walking burns approximately 300 to 500 additional calories per day, depending on your body weight and pace. Over 90 days, that represents a potential fat loss of anywhere from 8 to 15 pounds, without a single hour spent in a gym. But here is the part that does not get talked about enough. The metabolic effect of daily walking extends far beyond the calories burned during the walk itself. When you walk consistently, your body's resting metabolic rate increases. Your mitochondria, the energy-producing engines inside your cells, multiply and become more efficient. Your muscle tissue, even in the legs, becomes denser. Denser muscle burns more calories at rest, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You're not just burning calories while you walk, you're rebuilding the engine that burns them. Now, here is where the science gets truly remarkable. At 6 months of consistent daily walking, researchers have documented changes in gene expression. This is called epigenetics, the science of how your behaviors and environment influence which genes get switched on and which get switched off. A study published in the journal Epigenetics found that regular physical activity of the walking variety can downregulate genes associated with chronic inflammation, cardiovascular disease, and metabolic dysfunction. You are quite literally rewriting your biology. Inflammation is the root driver of the majority of chronic diseases that kill people in the modern world. Heart disease, cancer, Alzheimer's, type 2 diabetes, autoimmune conditions. All of them are fueled by chronic, low-grade, systemic inflammation. And daily walking is one of the most powerful anti-inflammatory interventions ever studied. Let's talk about longevity. A meta-analysis published in the British Journal of Sports Medicine, analyzing data from over 47,000 adults, found that walking 10,000 steps per day was associated with a significantly reduced risk of death from all causes, including cancer and cardiovascular disease. The researchers found that even individuals who walked as few as 7,000 steps per day saw a 40% reduction in all-cause mortality compared to those who averaged under 4,000 steps. Read that again. 40% reduction in the risk of dying early, not from a pharmaceutical drug, not from an expensive intervention, from walking. But there is something that happens psychologically with daily walking that does not show up in the clinical studies. And it is perhaps the most transformative effect of all. Consistency builds identity. When you commit to 10,000 steps every single day and you actually follow through, something shifts in how you see yourself. You stop being someone who is trying to get healthy. You become someone who is healthy. The habit becomes part of your identity. And identity-based habits are the most durable habits that exist. They do not require willpower. They do not require motivation. They simply require showing up, which becomes automatic once the identity is established. This is why people who have walked daily for 6 months rarely stop. It is no longer something they do. It is who they are. Now, a few practical truths before we close. 10,000 steps does not have to be achieved in a single walk. It can be accumulated throughout the day. A 20-minute walk in the morning, a 15-minute walk at lunch, an evening stroll after dinner. The research supports accumulated steps as equally beneficial to a single continuous bout of walking. Get the steps. How you get them is secondary. Pace matters, but not as much as people think. A brisk walking pace, around 3 to 4 miles per hour, where you can hold a conversation but feel slightly challenged, delivers superior cardiovascular benefits compared to a casual stroll. But even a slow walk beats sitting completely still. Do not let perfect be the enemy of consistent. And finally, if you are currently sedentary, if 10,000 steps sounds impossible, start with 4,000, then 5,000, then 6. The research is clear that any increase in daily steps from a sedentary baseline produces measurable health benefits. The dose-response curve for walking is steep. Every additional step matters. Here is the bottom line. 10,000 steps a day rewires your cardiovascular system. It rebuilds your brain. It rebalances your hormones. It reduces inflammation. It extends your life. It costs nothing. It requires nothing. And it can begin in the next 5 minutes. The question is never whether walking works. The science has answered that definitively. The question is whether you are going to use what you now know. If this video gave you something valuable, if it shifted something in how you think about your daily movement, then do one thing right now. Subscribe. Because the content on this channel exists for exactly one reason: to give you the information your long-term health depends on, delivered without noise, without filler, and without compromise. New videos go live every week, each one built on the same foundation as this one: research, clarity, and results. Hit the bell. You will not regret it. Now go get your steps.